Greetings, dear ones. Happy Sunday. Today is a continuation of our working with the element of water and rainmaking for and on behalf of Australia. And we're going to be doing a little bit different focus today. If you remember, or if you've been joining me, on Friday when we began this series, we were really looking at the way different cultures throughout history have acknowledged and really recognized that there are beings that oversee and regulate the element of water, and acknowledging in that. Oh, hello, Callie. There's Callie over there in the corner. Hi, Callie. You going to join us? Yeah. Yeah, he's not much of a participant, but he's there holding space for the animals, I believe, as well as if you look over, oops, sorry, that shoulder, you can see the drum with the hawk on it. And next to that, we have a horse as depicted by the culture of Mexico. That is from Mexico, I believe. And there are many representations of animals here in the healing room. And we're really holding the space for the animals who are really in a terrible situation because they have nowhere to go. And again, there's various energetics that present themselves at different points in time or different days. On Friday, we were very, again, working with the element of water and all the deities and beings that different cultures have acknowledged as those that really interface between humans and aspects of nature, and in this case, the elements. Also really tapping into us as water beings. I don't remember the exact figure. I've seen two different figures between 70-something% and 85% water, which are of our bodies is water. And so as water beings, we can really feel that element and acknowledge and respect and value the fact that we are one with that element, being so much a part of us and our body and our daily existence. We certainly could not exist without water. And in watching some of the science shows, which I'll bring in a little bit later, because we're going to be looking from more the physics perspective and science perspective of co-creating today. As I said, Friday was really looking at the elements and the way different deities and beings interface and regulate and oversee the elements. On Saturday, yesterday, we were looking more from the perspective of indigenous cultures around the world that have been practicing rainmaking techniques for thousands of years. All different cultures, cultures in Africa, cultures in Asia, cultures in certainly our country, Native Americans, Latin America. All different cultures around the world have acknowledged that there is a cooperation and a deep relationship between the earth and humans, nature and humans. And if someone had the gift of rainmaking, that was recognized from a very early age, and they would be worked with teachers and masters training in the communication, the collaboration, all aspects of that element, the weather patterns, following seasons and cycles, and the animal movements, to be able to tap into all aspects and really in a very cooperative and collaborative way, working with water, rain, to create an environment for the growth of, be it corn in some countries, Very few were wheat, but in any case, the crops. And again, throughout time, the majority of people on the planet have been very deeply connected to the earth because we have been more often than not working the earth and growing things and crops and foods, whether it was for our own family unit or whether it was on a little bit larger scale. More often than not, the Lord, the owner of the land, usually took the lion-sized share and left the farmer with much less. In some instances, in some countries where there was a bit more freedom, the farmer was able to till his own land and to work his own land and feed his family and then trade with others for a different type of grain or sell it at market. So we've still, up until very recently, the past couple hundred years, been intimately in cooperation with, I know I've said that before, but it's really a working relationship with the earth, the seasons, the cycles, the elements, in order for us to live. The past couple hundred years with industrialization, we have become so distant and disconnected from the earth, from the elements, from nature, from the seasons, the cycles, the animals, the way the world moves in relation to the stars, the moon, the sun, and all of this is, it's so vital because our bodies, our energy fields are actually part of that process. It was designed as a symbiotic relationship between us and the earth. And when industrialization came in, and now the huge farming entities, it is taking us out of our hands, taking it out of our hands, and we have handed it over. No one has taken anything. We have chosen this path, but we can choose another, be it on a very daily basis of connecting into the nature around you, protecting the trees and the small copses of trees rather than clear cutting, acknowledging that night creatures have a time and a place, and being more conscious of where we place lighting and putting up fences and preventing the movement, the eradication of all the small critters like chipmunks and little voles and all kinds of things that feed the larger animals such as hawks or foxes or those that protect and prevent different overgrowth or overpopulation of, be it insects or different little creatures. We have an influx of small mice or rats in certain places, and the animals that were there to keep that population in control have diminished. So there are ways on a daily basis that we can reconnect with nature and reconnect with the intelligence that is there. So as I said yesterday, we focused more on the indigenous practice of rainmaking. Today I want to bring forth some of the physics, the latest physics, cutting edge information that is really turning science. This has been incredible in the discoveries in a wide range of scientific disciplines. And more than anything, perhaps, is in astronomy, the way the universe really works, and some of the findings in the far distant space, not just our own solar system, but beyond. Which we've had a lot of knowledge, but nothing like what's come through this year. And then, of course, the biggest probably breakthrough with the superconductor was finding not just merely the Higgs boson particle, but actually what is now named the Higgs field. There has been proven to be, at this point, an actual field that it goes all the way out to the ends of the universe, and in my experience, actually beyond. But science has discovered and has been kind of thrown on its ear, because now knowing this information, that there is a field that connects all, and I do mean all, and this isn't woo-woo, this is straight up quantum physics, that everything is connected. Therefore, we are connected to every aspect of the earth, the elements, which is what we're focusing on today, to bring forward the element of water and rain for Australia, for our very thoughts and awareness and consciousness and choices, be it in the words we speak, the actions we take, but moreover the feelings. And I think that's why this is unlike a meditation. We are actually doing what I'm calling, and stolen from someone else, a practice wherein we are embodying, pulling in all of our ancient knowledge through our DNA, through our bodies, through our energy fields, to actually sensate water. For the more you can feel something, the more it is manifested in reality. Thinking alone is not sufficient. The mind is a very minor tool within our greater system. So it should more often than not be the worker, not necessarily the leader. The leader is always our innate sense, our deep inner wisdom, our internal compass, that knowledge that comes directly from our wider self, our wider existence. For we are not these bodies alone. And I'm sure all of those in tuning in, which, hi, by the way, hello, Megan, hello, Miss Dalinda, hello, Sarah, hello, who else is here? Carol, hello, you beautiful people. Thank you for joining me. So all of those here, we are deeply connected, not only with one another, but our bodies and energy fields. And when we can really sit deeply in that knowing, that deep knowing, we are then able to co-create together as a group, yes, but together with nature, aspects of the earth, the elements, whatever it is that we choose to connect to, communicate with, collaborate with, cooperate with, and commune with. You cannot commune in your mind. You must commune in your feeling, sensation, body, energy field, inner wisdom, internal compass, deep inner verse. Okay, so that's why I teach people how to come down and in your body, in your system, bringing your energy field, which generally runs upward. Okay, if you can kind of see an upside down pyramid, where we're putting the emphasis on the energy of the mind and even the higher mind, with that point of the pyramid coming down, usually to our mid-chest, perhaps on some occasions, but more often than not running it upward from here, which really discounts the entire rest of our energy field, our chakras, all of this huge system that we have. So as we practice bringing or allowing that our energy field to come down further and further and further into our bodies, it allows the lower triangle, which is the base of us, the earth of us, those first and second and into the third chakra aspects of us, for we must have all 7. We generally work with the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and very rarely touch into, or infrequently touch into, utilize, incorporate those lower chakras, which are very, very powerful, very, very necessary, and very significant at this point in time in our evolution. For those are the areas that we are evolving so that we can not only bring that upper triangle down and in further to meet around the heart, but to develop that lower triangle, the lower pyramidal structure of our energy field, bringing them both together, which if you have a piece of paper and a pen, I'll just draw it for you. We have the upper triangle and the lower triangle meeting. Initially, I don't know if we can get the camera to see that. There we go. Oh, have to excuse my inaccurate drawing. But as we bring those more together, it eventually creates what some of you know as the Merkaba. Oops. Okay, technicality is not my greatest suit. Okay, anybody recognize that? Yes, it is so much more than merely the Star of David. It is the vehicle, our energy field, when in balance, allows for this structure to travel within. So our bodies, our energy fields are a vessel by and through which we are able to experience not only our full human self, but our full energy self, which is truly connected to other realities. Again, not woo-woo, straight up Einstein. That is the basis of E equals MC squared, was his realization that there are many, many realities in this universe and that there is a deep connection. So we are in a time that we are evolving those lower structures to be able to become truly who we are and who we can be. So I'm giving all of that preamble for you all to be aware that this isn't just a meditation. It isn't just going out and dreaming about water, which is a wonderful thing to do, but this is about truly coming down and in your powerful, spiritual, human, divine self, connecting, communicating, cooperating, collaborating, and communing with your own system and an aspect of the earth, which today is rain. The focus is on rain and the element of water, not forcing, not directing, not demanding, but instead in union and communion with water to bring back some balance. And, you know, the wildfires in Australia are far beyond, unfortunately, even what has occurred in the Amazon and the damage done in California over the multiple fires. Those two destroyed hundreds of thousands of acres of trees, forest, animals, etc. In Australia, it is in the millions of acres. And while we can look at this destruction and wonder and feel the pain of the loss, on the other hand, we must also look at its divine purpose. I know that may sound strange. However, This is something that is going to, pardon the expression, ignite many people on the planet who before would not necessarily have truly experienced the level of change, climate change, however you want to look at it, on this planet. And that each one of us, this is not a national crisis, this is not a township, this is not a religious groups crisis, this is not a races group crisis. This is a global call for each and every one of us to make choices and stand for and on behalf of this one planet that we have. I was telling a friend the other day about a great banner, and I have seen it on t-shirts as well. Many of you may have seen it. There is no planet B. This is the one we have. And all else fades in comparison to this necessity for us as humanity, because the earth will go on just fine without us. She will recover. There are amazing recovery abilities with this planet. Over time, very quickly, she will be just fine and in balance again if we were wiped off the planet. It is us that need the planet. It is us that need the air, the water, the fire in its proper balance. So this is for all of us. It is a global call, a global signal, alarm that's going off loud and clear, inviting each person on this planet to make a choice. We continue in the old way of doing things with greed and accumulation and discounting and disconnection from the earth and all that encompasses that, or we make the choice to be in connection, communication, cooperation, collaboration, and communion. And so I'm going to invite each one of you now. Hopefully you're sitting in a very comfortable place. I think it's much better that you be sitting rather than laying down, so you can truly feel your body, your system, and so much more effectively co-create with us as a group and with the earth and the element of water. So please get comfortable, and by that I mean really sitting down in your chair. Notice where your shoulders are, kind of let them drop. If a breath helps, that's wonderful. But you do want your back not holding yourself straight, but as erect as you can by sitting on your butt bones. And if you know where those are, that's wonderful. If you don't, take a hand and kind of feel. Doesn't matter the amount of buttocks that you have. You should still be able to feel in the very center of your buttocks on each side a bone, a sharp bone. If you kind of rock around or move back and forth, you will be able to feel them. Try and find them and sit on them. Your body is an amazing design, so that when you're sitting on those butt bones, it allows for your spine to line up all the vertebrae and support you without you having to hold yourself up, which we all so often do. We kind of sit up like this and a little bit forward. So really try to roll your shoulders back, find those butt bones, and just sink into them. You don't have to do anything, but you do have to allow, which is challenging for many. So you're allowing the chair or the couch to actually hold your body. without you having to hold it, okay? I also hope that you have a glass of water by your side, because it's really, really important after a practice to have some water, drink some water to replenish that energy that we've used. And also, of course, in this case, when we are so intimately and intricately and interconnected and working with the element of water, it's really important for you to have that water handy to, in this instance, feel, taste, touch, smell. So I encourage you to have a sip of water right now. I'm going to take a sip myself, always having water. And really let yourself sensate the water in your mouth going down. Excuse me, I have to reach for something. Going down your throat, feel it in your mouth, swish it around some, let yourself feel the movement and the wave and the fluidity of water. Also, really allow yourself to hear the water in your mouth. You know, take it and swish it around. Water has sound. Rain certainly has sound, a wide variety of sound, right? Trickling water, dripping water, right? The waves crashing on the ocean. That water makes so many sounds. If any of you have been to a waterfall, that's a very particular sound, right? I had the great fortune of going to Niagara a couple years ago, and that is a very powerful sound of water. So it's important that we utilize our human senses to be able to experience more deeply the element of water. Excuse me 1 second. Just turn this a little bit, see if that makes a difference in vision. You're going to be closing your eyes shortly, I'm sure. There, that's better. So we now have the sound and the feel of water in us. If you've taken that swish of water. And for me, I've been drinking water consciously since I was about 20. And there's very, very particular taste to different types of water. So I invite you to taste the water in your mouth and maybe recognize that there is different water that you prefer the taste of without having to flavor it. Good. So utilizing, as I said, the 5 senses, we've had touch, taste, hearing, sight, of course, when you lifted the water to your mouth. And what am I missing? Sight, sound, somebody help me here. Come on the comments. Sight, sound, taste, sensation, right? Touch. Good. Really let yourself use your senses to bring into your experience in this moment the element of water. Okay? And we're going to call in the multiple energetics that are here present today. One of them being the birds. Birds are very, very, very coming very forward the past few days, making their presence known. Think about maybe you have noticed birds more the past couple days, or heard the word, or in some way noticed birds, okay? Because they too have been radically affected by these wildfires. And also there may be other messages. You may have received messages from birds, or they signify something to you, or it will come in the next couple days. That's the wondrous experience of allowing yourself to be open to information coming in. You may notice I have on Eagles colors today, but I was compelled to wear this pin, which is a dolphin, because dolphin energy is here as well. Okay? And dolphin energy is that of breathing, the breath, okay? As well as fun and joy and pleasure. And there may be, again, more information today, next couple days, why they are so present. And we also have, as always, some of the masters and guides and teachers that are always present in the work that I'm doing with practices. So very, very currently here is Mikhail, who represents personal protection and also mutual duality, that both sides of all duality within this universe is divine and serves purpose and must be equally acknowledged, loved, and given gratitude for. Even in the moment when something as destructive as these fires appear, there is higher, deeper purpose to their existence. We also always have the master gatekeeper to open all doors, portals, and passageways that can in any way benefit us or those connected to us, and who also closes tightly all doors, portals, and passageways that can in any way cause harm to us or all those that we are connected to. And again, I just keep inviting you. You can say to yourself or out loud, I ask and I allow my body. I ask and I allow my energy field. I ask and I allow my wider self. I ask and I allow my guides and teachers and masters. I ask and I allow all aspects of me to join me here and now, deepening in me so that I might feel, experience, sensate more of me and my deep, interconnected, interrelated vital relationship with the element of water. For I am a being deeply, profoundly part of the water on this planet. We know we must need air to survive, but the second most vital element is water. If we do not have water, we cannot survive individually or as a planet. So good, little by little. Some people may experience themselves coming down, letting their energy field come down into their body as kind of a spiraling in, or like an elevator just slowly, slowly going down floor by floor. In this case, it's level by level. It happens very slowly because we are not used to being in our bodies. So if you've stated, as I said, I ask and I allow, this is really just a process of continuing to allow, because your energy field and your wider self know how to do this naturally. There is no thought, there is no visioning necessary. As a matter of fact, that maintains things on an upper level of your body once again. So I invite you to really let go of thinking about your energy field coming down and in, and instead allowing. For it will happen naturally. The more you allow your energy field and your wider self to do so. For allowing has no work in it. Allowing has no effort, no focus, no purpose, no intention, no push, no pull, no effort whatsoever. Simply allow for the sinking down and in. We're going inside. You're going into your inner verse, where there is so much more of you, and you know yourself as water. So those of you who are familiar with the energetics or have worked with me can really feel at this moment the energetics here present. You may experience it as a tingling in your body or just movement or energy inside. You may feel nothing at all, and that's quite all right. You may actually feel yourself getting a bit sleepy, which is wonderful. Do not fight that. Do not stop that. For what is actually happening is that you are dropping down and into a deeper state of being where the mind takes a back seat or even takes a little nap. But you can feel yourself energetically. or even simply fall asleep. It is not actually sleep, but a deep theta state, or even a state where you are shape shifting into the element of water. For you are a water being. Good. I'm going to keep speaking so that you continue to know that I'm here, but you do not have to comprehend or follow or compute anything that I am saying for the next few moments. Simply sensate your own experience inside you as and with and through and from the element of water. Such a fascinating aspect of our world, our universe. Water is one of the only elements of the four: earth, air, fire, and water, that is able to be in multiple forms. We have certainly the liquid form. We have most definitely the solid form in ice, right? Snow. And we also have what's considered the gaseous form in steam, mist, fog, and of course the fluid form in rivers, lakes, streams, creeks, ponds, swamps, puddles, streams coming down from the sky in the form of rain, drops, droplets, waterfalls, rapids, dew on the grass and the trees, even in its most powerful state, hurricanes, tidal waves, tsunamis, all forms of this amazing element water that we use, interact with on a constant basis throughout our day. So really allow yourself to drop down deeply inward, sensating your own system as with, in, through the element of water in all its many forms. And while we are not commanding or demanding anything of water, we are inviting a connection, a cooperation, and a collaboration to bring equilibrium to a beautiful construct, this planet, back into equilibrium between and amongst the elements. Right now we're seeing an overabundance of fire in one area of the world and inviting the element of water to balance or equilibrate that overabundance with rain, good, I'm still here, just was quiet for a couple of moments and I'm gonna stay quiet for a couple moments more so that you may deeply experience your own inner verse in connection, communication, collaboration, cooperation with the element of water. Appreciating, recognizing, feeling the thousands of ways that water gives to us, allows us, assists us to live. For it is in that acknowledgement, recognition, appreciation for its very beingness that it continues as a vital aspect of our world. For anything that is not given recognition, acknowledgement of its beingness, appreciation, valuing, respect, then there is a loss of relationship. And when there is loss of relationship, there is an imbalance. One or other of the parties fade. We know that in relationships personally, with the pets in our world, family, friends, one must be in relationship for the connection to continue. A relationship that includes the recognition of the other, acknowledgement of the beingness of the other, respect, valuing, appreciation. And this is what we are sending, transmitting, sensating, and experiencing towards and for the element of water in all its many forms, and supporting whatever it may need, and inviting and asking for its grace upon this large area of the continent of Australia, which is so special, so unique, so necessary, so important. And all the beings in that area, human, animal, insect, bird, reptile, trees, bushes, plants, soil, the land itself, which keeps in equilibrium the planet itself. So some of you may be noticing, perhaps sensating your abdomen, your low abdomen, maybe even your second or first chakra. If you do not, don't worry about it. Do not focus on it. Just feel. It is through feeling that you are being. So again, I'm still here. I hesitate to stop speaking because I don't want you to worry the connection has been lost. And I'm going to give everyone another moment or so. And then begin so the integration process is continuing right now. It began. There's nothing you need do. Do not push, decide, effort in any way. The integration is I'm transmitting and it is occurring. I'm following each one of you and the group as a whole. So integration only means that all the experience of all that we have mentioned and more is coming together from both the non-physical and physical, so that you may incorporate all of what you have experienced and the group as a whole, those that may be watching or listening to this at a later point. We are all deeply interconnected. And so this transmission will be available at no matter what point in time you tune in or retune in. The energetics are here, the sacred geometrics that were created for this practice are still here and in effect. And you can come back and listen to this and drop in over and over again whenever you desire, or take this practice on your own and do so as frequently as you wish. I also invite you to be exquisitely conscious and aware of water over the next day or days. Every time you use water, hear water, see water, feel water, you can transmit your experience of water and commune with, collaborate with, cooperate with, communicate with the element, and bringing in Australia will join them and you in a unified relationship. So the integration is moving along very, very quickly at this point. Do not force your way back to this more consensus reality, but simply, once again, allow your energy field, allow your wider self to guide you, lead you. Simply follow, simply feel. The wisdom of your wider self and your energy field are so much greater than your human knowledge. Allow these parts of you to naturally do what they know how to do and simply ride your way back. Good. And if you so choose to continue sitting in that, that is entirely up to you, your prerogative. But for those that would like to close this practice now, the integration process is wrapping up, and you may be feeling more of your actual physical self and that delicious experience of moving from a less physical to a more physical experience is very rich and can be full of symbols, signs, information, gifts. So never speed it up. Your system knows when you need to be fully present once again. And for those that are feeling themselves that way, I encourage you to have a goodly amount of water right now. Take your glass of water and really listen to your body and allow it to tell you how much. I was merely taking a sip to demonstrate. You may actually, when we do such a process of practice as this, may need a full glass of water. And please make sure and continue to drink water for the next day or so. And certainly every time you go into a practice, when you return water, it replenishes the system because we have been moving a great deal within the system. Water is a blessed, blessed being. So I invite you, again, bless water every time you hear it, see it, feel it, taste it, touch it, okay? And that allows for it to receive anything it may need to equilibrate, okay, the amount of fire occurring right now. I thank you all for your participation, for your courage and deep spiritual seeking to do this practice. And I honor you and love you very, very deeply and hope to see you soon. I am going to do another practice. I'm continuing this tomorrow, Monday at 11:45, a much shorter process, but we are still going to be dropping in and again working with the element of water in another aspect and the fires in Australia. Also, for those who live in the area, there is this coming Saturday, the 11th, an all-day workshop. We are going to be, of course, working with the element of water to clear, cleanse all different levels of your being and reset for your highest potential throughout 2020. So you can go to Healer's Universe for information about that. Practical magic classes are opening, or courses are opening up again later in January. We're also going to be doing another Healing for the Healer course, and they may be joining with the other groups in a larger group entirely. And as well, we're going to be opening an Earth Stewards course, which is going to be similar to what we're doing today, but actually working on specific projects that you bring for the earth or for an aspect of culture, society, etc. So thank you all for being. Thank you all for participating in this incredible evolutionary process this planet is going through. I love you. I honor you. And we'll see you soon. Monday, 11:45, back here. Bye.